Cousin Sal's here, Sunday Night BS podcast. Pittsburgh did not show up, but we did. Sal, I was traveling today. I traveled cross country. I somehow made it. I was on a plane. I was on one of the few planes that made it across country.
You were so nervous. We were looking at the JetBlue lounges where you could set up the podcast recording. It didn't come to that though.
Could have been on my phone. I will say this though, my plane did take off on time. Just amazing. Remember who gave you that handheld TV like 20 years ago? Jimmy?
Oh, Jimmy. Yeah, the one with the rope sort of antenna around it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, whoa, this is amazing. Yeah. And now I'm on the plane. There's DirecTV, so I can have the red zone on. But then I had my big iPad, and I had multi-view on there. So I basically had 4 games, including the Patriots, plus the red zone, go all the way through the early games. Then the late games come on, watch like half of it. We land. I'm walking through the airport. I'm watching the Niners-Rams game on my phone as I'm walking to my car. I was just like, man, we don't appreciate enough how great all of this is. We really don't.
It's pretty cool. A long flight like that, you're like, screw it, keep going. Go to Hawaii. I'm covered.
I got thinking that. I could have gone. I was thinking I could have gone for the London game. I could have done like a 10-hour flight to like London.
Yeah.
Just or further. I don't know.
You know what's better though? When you're watching the games and you have money on them and you win. Like then it's the full experience that I have not experienced.
I did not have that experience, and I should have known. I got mildly killed today, and anytime I travel, it's like the stink goes on you. Not that I'm affecting the results of these games, but very rarely does it work out. Want to start with the Sunday night really quick?
Sure, let's get over
Baltimore wins earlier, and Pittsburgh's in this nice little spot against the Chargers with Joe Alt out, and they have no tackles, and the Steelers have beaten the Colts and the Patriots this year, who are arguably the 2 best teams in the AFC. And it's Rodgers, it's Sunday night, it's Collinsworth cackling his way through the game, and had all the makings. And the Steelers were just awful. And Rodgers particularly was awful. And I do wonder, was this like a 2-month thing with him physically where he could kind of patch this together? But as the season went along and he took some hits, now we're starting to see him break down.
I hadn't thought of that. That's interesting. Yeah, he was particularly immobile tonight against what it seemed like a fierce front there for the Chargers. But, I think it's important, not that I can ever take advantage or anything, even though I had over 23.5 for the Chargers. Lucky.
Nice.
It's important to not give some of these teams too much credit. Like, all right, what did the Steelers even do last week to the Colts? Like, well, they forced 6 turnovers and still only scored 27 points, right? So, and only won by 7. So I was like, I'm not buying it. I get it. Offensive line issues and everything. And that's why I like the Chargers. And I think everyone made a lot of that. They'd have like 140% of the fans there. And they did. But yeah, they did not show at all.
Well, unfortunately, they didn't have a competent quarterback.
Yeah.
He was back by the second half to being the guy that we saw last year, the guy who didn't want to get hit. And they had that great replay of him about to get hit, winging that ball over somebody's head. Maybe it was Gainwell, because the pressure was coming. He basically did like a 360 after he threw it, instead of just going in, completing the ball, and then taking the hit, which we saw a bunch of good quarterbacks do today. Didn't seem like he wanted to take the hit. So I don't know what that means. I didn't think the Ravens looked particularly good today either. I thought Minnesota. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I had them all. I wasn't on a plane, but I managed to pull the games up. Yeah,
that was one of my multi-view games. Minnesota had 8 false starts. They had 13 penalties. McCarthy is just one play he's good, the next play he's awful. He's all over the place.
Yeah,
and the Ravens they were okay. They had a lot of drops. They had no flow to them, but it really feels like the 4 seed coming out of that division. I'm not sure how scary it's going to be.
Yeah, I thought we'd have a few more cross-offs today and a few more. I'm excited to bet against them in the playoffs first round, but I think we can only keep it to 2. But yeah, the Ravens were looking to let Minnesota back in, and it was a weird roughing
They basically
call.
did.
Yeah.
They did kind of let him in. All of a sudden, it felt like the game was over, and then it wasn't, and the Vikings were kind of hanging around.
Yeah,
but
they got the division. They're good now, right? That didn't take long. They're right back in it. Are they a big favorite? I forgot to even look after this.
They're probably like minus 200 now after that game, right?
Who's going to catch them? The freaking Browns? No. Yeah, the Ravens are minus 270.
Unbelievable. They're 4-5 and they're minus 270.
What happened?
They're still a game back. Well, Tomlin at halftime of this game, they interviewed him, and he started out by saying, "We'll keep snapping it."
It's good.
I've never heard that one before. We'll keep snapping. Well, I guess you got that. You still snapping the ball.
He was right. They did. There was like
They
25
did. They did
snaps
snap it.
in the
They
second
snapped
half.
it every play. He was.
It's
He
man
did
of his
predict
word.
that. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that Steelers team anymore. I think I've lost money on them in at least half of their games.
Yeah.
What's your record in the Steelers games this year?
I guess you have to be careful with them. I've lost with them, but we did have them under too, so maybe that'll cash. We already lost our first over under of the year in the Colts.
Which was that?
It was the Colts that cashed. We had under.
I
seven.
won on the Pats though. I'm
Oh,
one
did
and
the
one.
Pats? Did they go? Did
They
that go
did. They were
official yet?
7.5 initially. I
you
think
sure?
they ended at 8.5, but when I bet on them when I was in
I
Indiana,
know.
it was 7.5.
Okay, I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
our preseason thing, I think they still
Our
have. One
preseason
more
was
to do.
8.5. Well, they're going to get that too.
Yeah.
Probably Thursday night.
Oh man.
Want to talk about them, or you want to?
Sure.
hold off?
Yeah. Let's just. I'd rather you record this part before I get on, but after a win like that. But if we must, let's do it.
Should I? I could have done that with a family member.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Could I have like cousin John or something? Just I do the Pats part with him, then you come in after.
Father Bill would have been good too. Whoever. Yeah.
The Patriots are 8-2. They're 5-0 on the road. They have swept the NFC South, and they've won in Buffalo and they've won in Tampa Bay. And I did not think they were going to win today. I really didn't. I thought they were due for a shit game. This is a bad matchup. It was a team that was going to be able to throw the ball on them. They didn't really have a competent running back situation going, and all of their rookies came through. Henderson, bunch of big plays, looked like Jahmyr Gibbs and Achane, like one of that in that class. Kyle Williams made a big play. A couple of the other guys made big plays, and I just thought they thoroughly beat Tampa. That wasn't a fluke. They played better, and they actually should have gone up double digits in the fourth quarter. And May took a headshot. Like the seventh headshot he's taken this year.
lot.
And of course threw a pick two plays later. And then all of a sudden Tampa's coming back down. But I thought it was a pretty convincing win by the Pats. What'd you think?
I think they do it all. And now if you add this running game in, I mean, they had two running plays that I had not really seen before, I don't think. First of all, before the half, Drake maybe basically takes a knee, but without losing yardage so that to keep the clock running. But
so he said he was going to sneak and Vita Vea blew it up.
What?
I don't know if I believe
he didn't
that.
move forward at all. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that.
And then Travion at the end, gets a pitch left and runs the pay dirt and is looking to the bench for the last 10 yards to see if he should score or not. And they're like, yeah, go have fun or something.
And May's like going down, stay down. He's like Mickey.
Yeah, exactly. But so that between that and stopping the run, you still can't run against this team, your team. And Drake May's great. I mean, listen, I think this Pats resurgence is annoying and I think it's unfair. But as your friend, I was excited to see your Patriots score and then cut away to you and Robert Kraft high-fiving in the luxury box. You seem so happy in your T-shirt. That wasn't you?
I was pumped. No, it wasn't me, but I was pumped anyway.
All right.
Well, Drake May became the MVP favorite.
Yeah.
That lasted a little while until Matthew Stafford got hot. I was thinking, how many people do you think waived Henderson after about 8 weeks?
Oh, lots. Yeah, right. Less
Had
than
to
that,
have been
right?
at least 50% of the teams, right? There's got to be some word for that. Remember when we were working for Kimmel's show and there was one of the writers, Rivsy, Mark Rivers.
Right.
He would kind of zone out. I think he would be working on his talking points as we were going around the table, and it would come to him. He would do this thing, but somebody had already did it an hour ago. And we started to call it a Rivsy, and it just became a Rivsy was the name we had.
Yeah, if you repeat
There
it.
should be a name for waving a guy who then turns into being a guy down the stretch that you would absolutely 100% want.
Yeah. Might just be a
Because
way.
if you had Henderson, you spent what, 25, 30 bucks on him, or you took him in the first 5 rounds.
Yeah, you did for
And
sure.
then you're like, that's it. This guy, this is a sunk cost. I got to, and now he had, what did he have, 27 points today?
That was insanity. But how many, what's the volume for him? Like that's the thing we hated with Belichick running backs. Is Vrabel is he still going to get, is he going to get 15 carries a game?
The running back situation's bleak because they had some guy Jennings who was a practice squad guy most of the year, and then he got hurt. They had Dearness Johnson had a snap. I didn't even know he was on the team until like 4 days ago. So, they're playing the Jets Thursday. Vrabel, I watched all the post game speeches. I want to talk about that
I love
later.
him.
Vrabel was very short and concise. On to the next one. Thursday we're playing, like, keep it going. There's no celebration on this team. I said this to you a couple weeks ago on the pod. This team really thinks it's good. I think they believe in the coach and they believe in the quarterback. I don't know how long it's going to last, but they haven't played a bad game since week one.
You got to stop with this. They're the team to beat now. They're minus 240 to win the division. It would be upsetting.
They're minus 240 now?
Oh, yeah. Well, you got a game and a half.
Lord.
You have what? More than 2-game lead on the Bills?
Well, we play Buffalo again, though.
All right. Okay. You don't play them 3 times. You only play them once. So I think.
Yeah, I was telling Kraft today in the luxury box. Yeah, it was.
Is that you? Yeah. You guys are eating pizza together? I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a letdown now if you lose. I'm sorry. It really is.
It's a letdown.
It's a letdown. I don't know how you did it. You just, with the quarterback things, all you do is date supermodels. You go from one to the other. Maybe for like 4 months in the middle, there was Adrian from Rocky 1, like, all right, yeah, she has potential. That was Mac Jones, but there you go. Now you're right
Mac's back.
Up. Now you're back.
We've resuscitated Mac. He's he's 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
I will say this: they're getting a lot of weak schedule stuff, which, admittedly, that was one of the reasons we both loved the over, because their schedule is pretty weak. What are Indy's big wins? Why doesn't Indy get the weak schedule thing? Indy's in the AFC South.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They've beaten 7 teams they've beaten 6 teams with 3 wins or less. Indianapolis, and their 2 good wins are Denver and the Chargers. In that Denver game, they should have lost, and it was an absolute highway robbery. Right. The Chargers was their one good win.
Right.
They've lost to the Steelers. They lost to the Rams. The Patriots have good wins in Tampa and in Buffalo, and really only one bad game that week 1 in Vegas, which, as we discussed, you just kind of, I guess, throw away week 1.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Week 1's like the last preseason game. But I don't think you could use the weak schedule thing and not use it against the Colts.
You're true. That's
who,
true.
Like, barely got by Atlanta today and probably shouldn't have. And I can't wait to talk about that game. But, yeah, I don't know. I can't tell how good this Pats team is, because it worries me that they can't run the ball with the lead in the fourth quarter, and I think you have to do that in January. But Ramondre is going to come back, and maybe that'll be the last piece. And, I think they've conditioned May now. When he's doing those scrambles on the outside, it's like he's almost like he's gone the opposite of last year. Like, last year, he was like Jackson Dart. He was like, just settle down, dude. You're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
This year, he's almost like trying not to get hurt, and I feel like he's going to get hurt doing that. He took a couple huge shots today. So he's got to find that middle ground. But
when you tense up, well, maybe that's where the leader for Coach of the Year, odds-wise, could get in there and tell him to relax a little. Did we talk about...
Who is the leader now?
It's Vrabel at plus 125. I think he was...
What's Steichen?
He was 3-1 when we did this last week. Steichen's plus 140. So maybe people are starting to believe in that. What wins do you have, Colts? Theory you have.
Interesting. I would say Vrabel had a probably harder job than Steichen did this year.
Getting this together? Yeah.
Yeah, the Pats lost 13-plus games 2 years in a row. And they have a bunch of young guys he cleaned out. Basically, the Colts thing came down to they added Tyler Warren, and they hit on the Jones thing, which he gets credit for, obviously. But I think Vrabel has more.
Well, in August, as is evidence of us betting under 7.5, we didn't have any hopes for Daniel Jones to do anything. But
no, why would we have?
We wouldn't.
Even today, when you're watching him in that Germany game, every time there's like some sort of Daniel Jones player, like, oh, here we go, here it is. He's gonna pull off his Daniel Jones mask. Turn into Giants.
Do you want to
Daniel
talk about
Jones
that
again.
just now? Because I was, because we were doing the pregame show, so I didn't have like a lot of attention to it. I would watch, and then I watched the extended highlights. I thought he was pretty good. I thought this was like one of their more impressive wins. Like I said, I was going to say like this is a first round exit. The Colts put him up there with Denver. I've seen enough, but he was dumped 7 times, and that wasn't even, none of those were the hardest he was hit. But that 3rd and 21 play where he runs for 19 and he bangs his head on a bench and he's bleeding from the mouth. He looks like a child who got into the cherry sorbet in the middle of the night. And I don't know. I haven't lost faith in him right now. I'll say that. They should beat a team like Atlanta better than 30-25 in overtime, but pretty damn good.
The 4th and 2 to Warren was great.
Yeah.
Because if they don't make that play, they lose the game. I kind of felt like it was going to Warren because that became a video game situation. And what would you do if you're playing a video game? I would just throw the guy who catches everything.
Right.
Comes off the line. Atlanta knows it's coming. He has to throw it high to get to him, and Warren like still made like a crazy catch. But that was an awesome play.
Great play.
I thought they won the game.
Yeah.
You know, like they had to actually go take it. With that said, the Raheem Penix alliance is an all-timer. Penix had, I don't know, maybe 12 terrible throws. Might have been 15.
Yeah.
I wish that was a stat. I know there's no way to you'd have to have somebody just assign terrible throw. But he just had,
I think they kind of
behind things.
Don't they have it? Or are they too
They have
busy trying to
uncatchable throws. I wish they
how
had
fast
like,
anyone is. Yeah.
I wish they just had fucking terrible throws.
Yeah.
Like FTTs.
FTTs.
But bad special teams, like just a fucking staple for Raheem Morris. Like even there was one time when they're kicking off and they're like, well, this is going to go to the 45 right at the end, right? Mm-hmm. You're just like, you just know the Colts are going to start like close to field goal range somehow.
Then we should talk about Jonathan Taylor.
And like Taylor was the other piece. Taylor was incredible.
He's spectacular.
Fourth 3-touchdown game.
And he is now third. So it's Drake May. He's 3-1. Stafford's 3-1, and JT is plus 500. And I'm not.
Well, who do you think is the MVP? I think it's a worthy conversation after 10 weeks. If you had to pick somebody, who'd you pick?
I can't
say. Pick Drake, maybe?
I can't say baby. I can't. I mean, I said maybe.
You'd go maybe?
Now I regret it. No, I'm going to say Matthew Stafford. I think he's
so.
Excellent.
I'm obviously biased because I love the Patriots and I love Drake May. I think it's Stafford. I think he's been the best guy. Because it can't just be the stats and it can't just be impact on the team and how actually valuable you are and that there's narrative and all that stuff. Stafford's just been lights out every week. Like he has the performance thing. May will still have like his two kind of sketchy throws a game. He had the one today, he had the terrible pick near the end. Now, granted, he might have been at his bell rung. Mm-hmm. But Stafford's just been lights out week after week after week. And I just think it has to be him. You have 12 touchdowns in 3 weeks. You're housing everybody. But I think next week will be the MVP test for him.
That'll be a big game.
If they beat Seattle, that'll be it.
That's a good one. So now he's going, so it's hard. Yeah, maybe stats are phenomenal too. But Stafford, you're right. Last 6 games, almost 1,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, no interceptions. Some of those games without
no interceptions.
No turnover, no interceptions. And by the way, today was the first time he hit 500 in his career. He's got 115 wins, 115 losses, and a tie.
Yeah.
He dug himself out of the biggest hole in history, being the Lions quarterback for so many years. I think just the sympathetic vote should go to him. Maybe he's probably going to win MVPs down the road, but this guy had to go out there all those Thanksgivings and embarrass himself with that crud team. Give it to Stafford if it keeps up.
Yeah, I was thinking the shit red herring storylines from before the year that affected what we thought was going to happen during the season.
Yeah.
The MVP of that was Stafford's back.
Right.
People were so freaked out about Stafford's back, it became the only way they looked at the Rams. And I can't remember if they were actually favored. I think the Niners were favored for the
Niners division. Were favored. They had a very high over.
And there was a lot of I could see the Rams, the Stafford, who knows? I remember thinking it too. That and I think the Parsons trade were the two.
Oh yeah,
the two things that skewed how people thought of the season heading into it.
Oh yeah,
because when Green Bay got Parsons, like, oh my God, look out! And didn't have the same.
Yeah,
impact.
Stafford. I think we were turned off by the fact like this is a 34, 35-year-old who has had spine. So I'm never going to fall for that again. If a 35-year-old athlete has spine surgery, I'm betting the house on them every year because it's only good. Yeah.
Pro spine surgery. Well, the Pats, Vrabel apparently was saying after the game, he was congratulating people in the Pats for being the NFC South champions because they swept the NFC South 4-0.
Yeah.
That's not nothing. I actually think Atlanta is like a pretty talented team that just can't stay out of its own way. But I feel like I've watched 5 or 6 full Falcons games. And they have talent, and they can do a lot of different things. And they have this identity where all of a sudden they can run the ball, and it just seems like Algier is downhill, just running for 9 yards a carry for 10 straight minutes. It seems like they can rush the passer, right? It seems like Drake London can just take over the game. There's moments where Bajan, we used to call him Bijan, now he's Bajan, Or
Right.
Bijan seems like he's the best player in the league. And yet then you look up at the end and they've lost again.
Yeah.
They're 3-6.
They should be talented. I feel like teams like Atlanta, teams like Miami, they're not awful. They will show up. Could you just tell us when you're going to show up?
Right.
Like,
Give us a
right?
heads up.
Like Miami, all right, we won't put you in the bottom three. We'll uncross you, but just tell us when you're going to look like the Kurt Warner's Rams on offense.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. The same kind of thing.
Last thing on the Pats.
Thank God.
I thought there was a different level to that win because I think Tampa's good.
Yeah.
And Tampa was relatively healthy, right? They didn't have Evans. Godwin, God only knows when he's going to play or not play. No Bucky Irving. So if you're a Tampa fan, you're like, well, we'll see. We'll see in February if we have all our guys, basically. But I thought Tampa tried to bully them in a good way. Like they were just really physical. They were trying to hit when May was going out of bounds. They were always trying to hit him before he went out of bounds. They were just really physical with everybody and, treated it like a playoff game. And it wasn't when they went in Buffalo. I didn't think Buffalo played that well. I thought Tampa played reasonably well. They really thwarted Mayfield. It was the best defensive game plan, kind of execution thing that they've done. Like it just really felt like it felt a little 2001-ish. I got to be honest.
They threw a lot
I don't know
at
where
him.
the ceiling is.
For sure. Yeah. And you could have folded after that Egbuka touchdown. Like, all right, we're not really supposed to win this game. So let's not. But the fact
Started
is,
out terrible. It was pouring rain. We're down 7-0. May was sailing passes.
but if these teams can't run on you, you're always going to have a shot. And, you're just as good as them anyway. So it was fine.
I thought Romo did a great job today. I really enjoyed his commentary. I think he slumped a little 2 years ago, but I feel like Romo's back. I thought he had a real good sense of who to pick on defense. It was like all the old school Romo things, like what May was seeing, what this meant. He had a sense for where the momentum of the game was going and what like the holes were in the teams. I thought he did a really
This
good
one's
job.
going to Diggs, and then it goes to Diggs. I think he has a
Right.
very tough job because he can predict a lot of this shit. I think he could hit like on 85% of it. It's how much he wants to expose and how much he wants to take away from the viewer and trying to figure out if he is taking away from a viewer. So
Well, remember there was one time where they audibled and they did like 19 and he's like, that's going left.
yeah.
And they ran the ball left. And he's like, when they say 19, that means they're going left.
Yeah, right.
And then you could hear he was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, right.
out
I
loud.
know.
He just completely exposed
Like
them.
that's great to know, but then it's like, oh, people probably get mad saying that. But
We'll take a break on the pod. Keep going here on YouTube. Buffalo, something's wrong. We're officially here. This is a What's Wrong with Buffalo segment.
something's wrong with my checking account.
Well, we were
shitty
laughing
team.
because we had the most obvious parlay of all time was Broncos, Indiana yesterday, and Buffalo today. I didn't even need to ask to see if you had it.
That's exactly what I had. You
Denver
did.
squeezes through.
Yep.
They get the classic missed field goal with 4 minutes left. They're still like fucking around with you to the bitter end. They cover. Then yesterday, Indiana, the guy makes probably the greatest catch I've seen in 3 years.
Right.
The toe tap where he lifts up the right foot and toe taps the left
Just
on
hovering
Cooper.
over. Yep.
Just unbelievable. So they win, and all that's left now is Buffalo, and you could feel it right away. It's like,
Not close.
here we go. This is going to be one of those weird at Miami games that happen twice a year. I'll say this. We said this last week, I think. Nobody's ever open on the Bills.
Right.
They'll show that wide shot, the all 22, or they'll show whatever, and there's always D-backs right next to whoever's running. And they said there was Next Gen Stats, that Twitter account today said Allen's average time to throw was 3.53 seconds, which was the longest time to throw of his career.
Well, he had that one play
2018.
that was like 14 seconds, so that didn't do one. That did wonders.
Yeah, maybe
for
that
his
beefed it
average.
up.
But you're right.
He just doesn't have people to throw to. And then Kincaid got hurt, and it's like, all right, where is he going on 3rd and 9? I still don't know.
And you'll have like Mac Hollins get open for like a bunch of big catches. I'm like,
We
holy
will, yeah.
shit. Yes, I know. It's like, why can't Shavers or all these guys we laugh at for the Bills? Why can't they do the same? Why does he have to do so much? It was really like when they got down to the 12-yard line, it's like either he's going to have to run it in himself or they're not scoring. And
I actually thought he should have run more.
yeah.
I was surprised. I mean, they have Tampa next week. They're at Houston and at Pittsburgh for their next 3. So maybe they felt like they could sneak through this, but they're playing this Miami team that is one of the all-time what the hell is going on with this teams. Week 7, they lose in Cleveland 31-6.
Right.
Week 8, they beat the Falcons 34-10. Week 9, they lose to the Ravens 28-6, and then they beat the Bills 30-13.
Yeah.
That has to be some sort of record. They have 4 straight games with 17 points plus or minus each result. Like that, how many times could that have happened?
Did they just, I don't know what it is. I want to say they quit on this coach and maybe they just get up for some games more than others, but then Tua also looked sharp today, you know.
He looked pretty good.
You weren't ever going to tackle Achane. They went after them. You know, they crushed them that game. I don't care what the stats say. Like that wasn't even as close as 30-13, I don't think.
I agree. It was an actual beating, which is why I started this segment. What's actually wrong with Buffalo? And it was the first time I thought to myself, what if they didn't make the playoffs?
All right, let's look.
6-3. They have Tampa at home this week and at Houston next week, at Pittsburgh, home Cincy, at New England, at Cleveland, home Philly, home Jets. And the only easy games I see in there are home Cincy, home Jets, and maybe at Cleveland.
They need 4 wins.
They need 4 wins, and I think those are 3. Man. So they got to win one of those other ones to get to 10-7.
What kind of odds do you think you get on a miss on no January?
For Buffalo not to make the playoffs, I'm going to say it's like -500 or something. What is it?
Plus to not make it? Yeah. To not make it, plus 820.
Plus 820.
To not make it. So it's -1800 to make the playoffs. But you're right. I mean, also that defense, whatever. Josh Allen's great. He's going to do everything he can. But if that defense shows up every other game, every third game like it did today, you're right, man. That's going to be a tough run.
It was weird because when the Pats won there a couple weeks ago, and Buffalo didn't play that well, and I didn't feel the same about the Pats that I do like this week. It was still like, oh, it'd be so cute if we beat Buffalo, and I think this is a playoff team, but I don't really know what the ceiling is. But Buffalo didn't play well. Last week against KC, I don't know. They played pretty well. I don't feel like it wasn't one of those like, oh my God, the Super Bowl runs through Buffalo. It wasn't like one of those games. It was better. But
the no
but today
playoffs
was alarming.
Might be an overreaction, but their over under wins is 11.5. And you just went through that. There's like 6 plus 3, probably 10 or 11 would be spectacular for them at this point. I think under 11.5 is plus 115. I'm writing that down.
Well, it seems like if you can take out Cook, which is Miami was able to do today.
Yep.
I'm not sure who you're really scared of out of their other weapons.
And Kincaid walks off, right? Hobbles off.
Right.
Who knows what's going on with him?
And they were able to contain Allen. It was a really interesting game by Miami. I watched their. I had to watch the post game. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a Mike McDaniel post game speech. He just seems deranged. I don't even think he knows they're being filmed.
Yeah.
But a couple of the guys talked and were like super confident and like, this is who we are. Like, I don't know.
You know, I'll tell you something about Mike McDaniel. You know how they do the halftime, going into the third quarter interview on the sideline, and they pretend it's happening like right then, but it definitely happened right when they came out of the tunnel. McDaniel stuck around for like, that's just a quick soundbite and you're out, right? He was in there for 45 seconds.
He's doing a podcast?
He was doing a podcast to a point where you could see the empty stands. They had to pan because no one's still back from getting their hot dogs at the concession stand. Half the players are still running through the tunnel. He wouldn't shut up. God. And then you're right. Then after the game, they're like in big blue buckets riding around the locker room like they won the Super Bowl. The
problem with the Buffalo not making the playoffs is you have to find an 8th playoff team that would take their spot.
Yeah.
And then, so the Chargers are 7-3. Let's put Denver and the Pats and Indy in. Chargers 7-3. I think that really helped them today. Buffalo's 6-3. And then KC and Jacksonville and Pittsburgh are 5-4. Baltimore and Houston are 4-5. So I think it would have to be Pittsburgh or Houston taking their spot. I don't think Jacksonville. We'll talk about
They
that in a
crushed
second.
them. They could have had a nice spot there. Like, how close were they to winning and then the Colts losing? And then we would have been
Right.
talking about Jacksonville winning the AFC South, and it just dumped completely the other way. But I think those are
There's
the
a
teams.
reason we aren't talking about it because they suck.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why. Because they were like, wait a second, we suck. Um, but yeah, Houston's interesting to me because I do think they bring some real things to the table. Their secondary is really good. They kind of dominated that game today, even though, they were behind 10-0 in like 2 seconds. Right.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those games where I think it was 17-0 at one point. And I had the Texans, so I was watching it pretty closely. And I was like, I don't know how they're down 17-0. Like Jacksonville hasn't done anything. You look at the total yards at the end of the game, and I think it was it
lots of catch
twice as much, right?
Yeah, lots of garbage time, right?
It was 412 to 213 though.
But it was 29-10.
213
It was
total
29-10 the fourth quarter against Davis
know.
Mills. They ought to be the win probability machine blew up. They had to bring in the backup win probability machine. And it was a tic-tac line. And
Is that a generator?
Was that the worst bet ache of the year? If you had Jacksonville plus 1.5?
Well, it tic-tac back and
Right.
forth.
Yeah.
Both teams were favored by 1.5 basically every day last week. I wrote this down in my notes as the game was going on. It was 29-10, and I had the multi-view in the other games that, like, the Saints game was close and the Giants game was close. And I kept it on because it's the Jaguars, and it's like, well, of course they could blow this. And Davis Mills was getting, like, pretty comfortable as that game was going along. So I kept it on. I never stopped watching it. There would have been other times when I would have turned it off, but with Trevor Lawrence and with Jacksonville, you can't turn it off.
No,
and he didn't really have anyone to throw to, so it wasn't
I can't blame him
his fault
though.
today.
I mean, when you're up 29-10, you won the game. Like, just come on,
Yeah.
defense, get a stop. Don't let Davis Mills go 97 yards with the sun in his eyes. What the hell ever was going on there?
But
Like,
they're not good. They don't have a good defense, though.
I know. We were confused because they had such a plus turnover ratio, like,
Right.
3 weeks ago. And it's Davis freaking Mills. Like, he takes the sack, Lawrence. Okay, that was bad. But then he runs for 20 and then a hands to the face penalty. Like, otherwise they were in good shape. And they have the kicker. I wrote this down in the notes when I thought they were going to win, but that kicker I thought would be a real difference maker. I'm like, all right, this guy is going to help a team that's not necessarily good, but they're in the AFC
Right.
South. Maybe they can win the division just with this kicker. Nah, no way. 36-27.
It was interesting. They're driving for the game tying, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they put the distance they need to reach, and they had midfield.
Yeah. Right.
Which I think the only other one is your kicker.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Where it's like they just have to get to the 50. I mean, you get the ball at the 30 plus now, and when you return a kickoff. So you get the ball back, you basically need to go, I don't know, a first down and a half, and you're in field goal range. I don't know if I like this kickoff thing.
Well, it's not
I
the
think
best.
it's too easy to get to midfield.
No, it is probably too easy. But yeah, are we going to see that where that kicker, like, where he needs to go? It's just going to be like the midfield stripe the whole time for all 32 kickers eventually.
Well, if he was kicking a 70-yarder, I would have thought it was going through. Because we saw the guy do a 68-yarder last week.
For sure.
This guy, John Shipley, covers the Jags, and he tweeted, trying to think of worst Jags losses since I've covered them. And he listed a bunch of them, including losing to that Raiders roster last year, losing to Deshaun Watson at home last season, a couple Detroit games with Doug Peterson. Think that is the top 5, but this is number 1. So he thought this was the number 1 loss. And as you mentioned, it was an incredible bet egg too, because the game's over. Houston had a chance to go for the 2-point and didn't get it. So they're winning by 1. Some people had them minus 1.5. Other people had them plus 1.5, whatever. But Trevor Lawrence figures out a way to have like a fumble. Was that a pick six or a fumble six?
It was a fumble. Donnell Hunter, as one of his 3.5 sacks, knocked it down. Then it was run back by.
And then he did the Michael Jackson over the goal line, but he crossed it, and the guy knocked it out. Anyway, they covered. Here's why I thought that was significant. Not forget the Jaguars because they suck. I think the Texans might be pretty good. Like, that's a team that, and House and I talked about this Thursday, just because of how good they are in defense. And I like Woody Marks. Collins is back. there's, they can't really block is the one thing, but everybody's got some sort of flaw. But their defense is good. That Stingley is incredible.
I mean, you mean good for next year because they have nowhere to go really with that Colts win. They're still three
No,
and
but
a
I'm
half
saying
games
like
behind.
as it comes along, if they can get a 7 seed and they can
Yeah.
get in.
Oh, 7. I mean, they're 4-5.
Yeah, but I think 9-8 could be 9-8 or 10-7 and could be the
I'm
playoffs.
thinking 10-7, which means 6-2 for them. I'll have to look. I know they have some crap on their schedule there.
They have some crap on their schedule. Two teams that don't have crap on their schedule: the Seahawks and the Rams, who might be the two best teams in the league. I keep track of wins, losses, and the either or games.
Yeah.
I have the Seahawks at 7 legitimate wins, 0 losses, and 2 either or games. And I have the Rams at 6 legitimate wins, 0 losses, and 3 either or games. Those are the two best records out of everybody. And the Rams are plus 420 for NFC. Seattle's plus 490. So they're basically the 2 and the 4 best odds. Seattle's number 1 in DVOA, and their last 3, they have, I think they've been up 21-0, 28-0, and 35-0, something like that. They're just killing everybody.
They were up 28-0 twice. The last 2 games in the
Yeah.
second quarter, they're up 28-0. And I mean, it might just be that they face now an Arizona team who's due to get whipped, right? Jacoby Brissett on the road, enough already.
I mean, that line was only 7 with Seattle at home. So
Yeah.
there was some or Arizona, like that was like the tease of the year. And everybody's like, I don't know, Arizona looked good
Well, I
last
think most people had DeMarcus Lawrence scoring under 1.5 touchdowns. I think that was the problem.
one
But you were
definitely.
sending us some hilarious live lines. Like it's like 34.5 in the second quarter. You don't see that in the second quarter. But all those games, I really wish someone would have said, all right, just take all 3 favorites and all 3 overs in the 4 p.m. games. I would have been like, all right, I'll sleep in and we'll watch the early games. That was so freaking easy. 44-22, 44-22. 42,
Yeah, you almost
26.
feel like they have to rig one of the games to have them be relatively close.
Yeah.
So the Rams, their best 4 wins are Houston, Indianapolis, Baltimore, and San Francisco today. Seattle's best wins are really only Pittsburgh and Houston. That's another team that the schedule hasn't been awesome so far. But now they're going at Rams. They play at Atlanta. They play the Rams twice. They're at San Francisco still, but they have an easier schedule than the Rams. The Rams have some tough ones left. They still have to go at Seattle, at Atlanta, at Arizona, at Carolina. I don't even know if that means anything anymore. They got Tampa and Seattle at home.
I mean, the Rams are a slight favorite to win the West right now.
Well, who do you like? That was going to be my question. Who do you like more?
Well, we were talking about Seattle 4 weeks ago at 8-1, and now it's like
you talked about it every week.
A coin flip. Yeah, so I'm going to stick with that. I think. I don't know why. I just feel like they have it, and you don't want to pick against McVay over and over and over, but I think they're in there, man. I don't know. Maybe I hope it's not just that the last 2 teams they played were disasters, but they're showing me a lot.
The one thing I've noticed with the Rams, and I think it's intentional, they they have all these tight ends.
Yeah.
It feels like they have 20 tight ends on their roster, and sometimes they'll have 3 out there at the same time, 4 that guys are catching. You don't even know who they are. But it's become this really physical offense with these 2 receivers, both of whom, Puka especially, are physical. And I don't know, they've just completely redid their identity. And when you watch it, you can really feel it. And I'll be interested to see how Seattle, that I think they have the best defense in the league. And this Rams team that will obviously try to go bigger and try to go bully ball with them.
Yeah.
Which has been, think of how the Rams used to be 5-6 years ago. Like they weren't like that at all.
Oh yeah, it was all
they were
flash.
like just dudes running around. They were like a lot of smoke and mirrors. And now it's like this kind of punishing team. So and defensively, like you can't run outside of them at all.
Right.
McCaffrey tried over them. They stuffed him. I thought the Niners Rams game was closer today than the score was because it really came down to Jennings fumbled that ball. And McCaffrey tried to get outside on that fourth and one. Verse just stuffed them.
Yeah.
And then the Rams seemed like they scored every time they had the ball, but the Niners were moving the ball on them. So I wonder, can Seattle move the ball on them, and can the Rams bully them?
Right. So it's the Niners defense, I think, is just going to once in a while
It's a
they'll
mess.
surprise you, but there's just too many injuries, too many. So you knew the Rams were going to get to 40. Mac Jones wasn't, and that was just the
No.
answer.
Mac Jones, though.
Take him back. Come on, it was more fun when he was on your team. Just take him back, please.
What's the funniest 2026 team for you?
Next year?
Yeah. What's the one that you're like, oh, that could work? And what's the one that you would go, oh, no, that's going to be a disaster?
Well, the Raiders is always the funniest, right? No matter what. And then.
Yeah, Raiders. I had Cleveland. I don't know how he'd end up there.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's got to end up there. I could convince myself that he'd be okay in Arizona.
Arizona. The Jets, I think, would be the saddest for everybody, for the fans, for Mac. What team would he go to that you'd be like, what would be the Daniel Jones Indianapolis situation?
That he could actually pull together?
Yeah.
Indianapolis. I don't know.
After Jones plays
I don't know. I don't know if there's a team like that. I wouldn't have said Indianapolis either. I'm not sure. Who do you say?
I was thinking Minnesota if they cool off on McCarthy.
Oh, they got so many quarterbacks. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would be it.
I think he's been pretty good. This is about as good as you're ever going to get from a backup quarterback in a league that only has 20 quarterbacks. You can't ask for more than this.
Hey, I was looking at it, and I was like, hey, Chuck was good today. And who else was good? That, like, Davis Mills. I'm like, thank God these guys are good. I'd rather it be when I don't have money against them. But it's nice when there's not 15 quarterbacks who going to be awful every week.
Well, I mean, Browns, Jets accepted.
Yeah.
I think Rodgers was probably the worst quarterback today.
Yeah, you're right.
He was awful. Everybody else at least had flashes. Penix was really bad too. We should have when you did that hour and a half pregame show today, did anyone mention that Brissett was going from playing the Dallas defense to playing the Seattle defense in a week?
Yeah, less than a week.
Maybe we should have factored that in, how ridiculous of a jump that is.
Right. And how hilarious. DeMarcus Lawrence, another FU to Dallas right there against Brissett, who kind of torched them. Yeah, I guess we should keep an eye out for that.
So with the odds, just for this NFC West, to me, these teams are dead even, and I would just rather have higher odds and take Seattle. And I think Seattle might be better anyway.
But I don't think the Niners are worth it, right? We look at third place teams in these 850. It's still not worth it.
This is the single best game of the year next year so far, I think.
Really?
Yeah, not from a marquee, like, oh, it's Mahomes and Buffalo. Like, there's sexier games and there's like more fun for casual fans. This is like the best game in terms of, I can't wait to watch it. I want to see the matchups. I want to see what the coaches do to each other. I want to see what they pick at, because I really feel like this is a playoff game. Yeah. And Eagles Packers will be really good tomorrow too, I think.
Yeah. And then I
don't know if those teams are as advanced as these two are for being ready for January.
Detroit, Philly also next week, right? So probably four of the last 5 or 6 teams in the NFC. Yeah, I'm excited for it. But we got to get
we got to talk about Detroit's Campbell took over the plays.
Did he announce that after the game?
There was rumors all week,
right,
that the players were bristling at offensive coordinator John Morton, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Campbell took it over. I think kind of a dick move. I mean, it worked. They scored 44 points, but to be like, this is the week I'm going to take the offense over and seem like the hero when we're playing this like Washington team that's like a corpse.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I got this from here. It's like, why didn't you do this last week?
Right. Yeah.
We had a harder game. I don't know. I would have been mad.
That was, and like you said, like the Commanders are outscored 110-43 in the last 3 weeks. I was told listening to that telecast that they were a great, great team. I learned a lot. I learned that
tremendous team.
I learned the Commanders are a great football team and the prices are way, way down. So, but other than that, I just thought, this is Detroit's going to have these games, right? Weren't they like, first of all, this is a playoff rematch. So when Dan Campbell gets mad, I think that's why he took the reins. He's like, we have to teach this team a lesson.
Oh, that's interesting because they beat them last year.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, he wanted to stick it to them.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've had a more classic year after team than the Washington Commanders this year.
No.
They had every single sign of a massive regression. They had the massive regression. It was even more depressing than I think people realized. And they didn't even really make it to November before their fans were like, "Ah, we're gonna go 5-12. This sucks."
Yeah, I loved it because you and I called it. You and I are going to
Yeah,
make
we
money
did.
off it. And then our friend House is so sad. He's so dejected. I see him with the Washington jerseys in the pregame show behind him. It's over. It's like the sewage in the stadium is about to run through again. Really is no better than it was 2 years ago.
I'm trying to figure out how I didn't do better on picks this year when my preseason picks. The three teams I liked the most were the Pats, the Broncos, and the Seahawks. And those were the ones I had the most bets on, and I was the most bullish on the whole thing. And then Miami shorting them, not
Yeah.
liking Washington. I feel like I had a lot of like the framework for the season, and then the season started, and I've screwed up the week to week.
Why'd you screw up? I mean, the
I don't
Broncos
know
don't cover.
because I keep doing stuff like betting on Aaron Rodgers and
Oh, yeah.
Sunday night game, and then he does nothing. Jets Browns, the depressing bowl.
I had that on
Do
a
fans of this team
small-
even watch? Do you watch this if you're fans of those teams?
I don't know why you would. I mean, and then you see like the Jets, like, hey, just return kicks and punts back for touchdowns back to back in the first quarter, and you'll be fine. Why is that
Right.
so hard? That's he had what 12 yards passing before that touchdown throw, that screen
Yeah.
pass. I mean, it's so miserable. Every week you see a stat about the Browns that you've never seen before. Like no team has ever, without a turnover, lost to another team
Right.
that only had 150 yards of offense, and yet they do it every single week.
Yeah, it's almost like they're not happy stats. They're like, how the
Yeah.
fuck did we lose this game stats? It needs some sort of name. I had some PTSD kicked in today. So I'm all excited. I'm on JetBlue. And it's one of the newer planes. So it has the DirecTV. It doesn't have like the whole guide of channels. The older planes have like the actual
Right.
football package. The newer ones have like less channels, but the Wi-Fi is way better. And they had the local CBS and the local Fox and the Red Zone were the three NFL channels. So I'm like, oh, this is great.
Did they really?
Maybe they'll have Pats Tampa as the national game.
Don't tell
They
me.
fucking had the Giants game and the Jets game
Oh,
on the two
no.
channels. I was like, oh my God, it's like 1990 again. When we used to get screwed by this over and over again, or 1996, whenever those two teams sucked.
Turn this plane around. I can't do this.
Where's the Pats game? Well, I got it on the Wi-Fi, but I was just laughing. I was like, man,
Yeah.
what a bummer. If you live in New York, you have to watch these. You can't get any of the good games because you have to sit through fucking
Yeah.
Brian Daboll and this terrible Jets team.
Yeah, or pay $600, whatever it is. Yeah, my God. I don't even know what to do with these. Like, I had it on the smallest screen I possibly could. I'm gonna buy that thing you talked about. That thing. I'm gonna buy an extra small screen,
Like
just
a walkie-talkie.
I guess I'm just punishing myself, but I mean, I would show that on my thumbnail if I could. Is that bad?
The Jets traded two of their best guys and won anyway.
Yeah.
There's a setup here. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Week 14, Browns, Titans. Both teams have one win. Who's the prize? Is it going to be the Indiana QB? I'm not even positive about him.
You know, the thing is, I saw
His
the
receivers do a lot of work for him.
Yeah, that was a great drive, especially after the interception and everything. But it was the tight end who had 7 catches in the game, flying out of bounds, making catch, and that catch at the end was insane. But I saw the top 5 is into like who has the first 5 picks. Who definitely takes a quarterback out of those 5 teams?
Maybe nobody.
How could that
Maybe
It's Tennessee 1, New Orleans 2, Giants 3, Cleveland 4, Jets 5. Jets, right? I don't know if the others bite. Dart's
you don't
good
think the
enough.
Browns would roll the dice with the quarterback position again?
Just took 2 more.
Why not? Let's keep
I guess
doing
so.
it.
I guess it doesn't matter. And Tennessee can't. Shuck is fine for now, right? We like Jackson Dart.
So Shuck won you over by putting up 17 in
I
Carolina.
had him. It's fine. I had him straight up. That was my best
A couple good
underdog
throws.
bet. Yeah.
Bears Giants was the other one that Daboll might get fired tomorrow
Yeah.
because what he's done with Dart this year was just nuts. And this is the same thing Mayo did with Drake May last year, which is why one of the many reasons I thought he should be fired. These rookie quarterbacks who don't know any better, you have to protect them from themselves. You know,
Right.
like if I leave 100 pounds of food in the kitchen. Murph's going to eat the 100 pounds. Is that Murph's fault or my fault? It's my fault. I should have done that. I'm putting him in harm's way.
Interesting.
This Dart is a maniac, and he's running around. He thinks he's like stiff arming people in traffic, and he thinks he can navigate these 250-pound dudes and 300-pound dudes that want to take his head off, and he's just going to be fine and duck around. And every Giants fan I know is like, Dart's fucking amazing. We just got to make sure we can keep him out of the blue tent. Like, you shouldn't be saying that about your prized possession quarterback.
Yeah.
It should be point blank. Keep him out of the blue tent. Your team sucks. What is he taking on 8 tacklers for? So anyway, he finally gets concussed, and it was the most predictable concussion of the year.
Yeah. First of all, little pat on the shoulder here. People should tune into the Ringer pregame show.
It's a really good show.
We give out a lot of winners too, like big same game parlay winners. Raheem
might be on a lot more
houses.
Channels next week.
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, it just might be. Keep an eye out.
Is it because I gave out Jackson Dart 2+ touchdowns at 14-1? Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Don't worry. They make a slightest dent in my losses, but yes, I did give that out. But
did you give out Russell Wilson will run out onto the field and the fans will groan collectively, and you can actually hear it on TV in an airplane?
Talk about I didn't have that. Was it the flight attendants?
Everybody's like, oh, yeah. People thought the flight got delayed. It was just Russell Wilson coming in.
Put out the barf bag and everything. Yeah. And by the way, talk about like it's our fault. Why didn't we just bet the Bears live line when Russ came in? That should be an immediate.
I mean,
thing.
it should be an immediate bet.
But
I agree with you.
Back to the coach, like we talk about like coaching conditions, like when certain things happen, a coach has to be fired. So they should sign this when they take the job. Like, hey, sorry, but if any of these things happen, it results in immediate dismissal. Like if you go winless 2 years as a coach, we have to get rid of you. If you show up high on meth to practice for all of August, you're gone. If we find out you're plowing the owner's wife, you're gone. If you're 0-4 in road games that you've led by 10 or more points, and you signed it. There's nothing we could do. Imagine that. 4 road games.
That would be a good one to put in.
Double digits. Yeah.
I would have just had from the beginning of the year, Dart cannot keep getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to be my one thing I ask from you.
Right.
Keep this person healthy.
And Russ has to keep getting hurt.
Did you
Whatever
did you see the thing? They have 25 designed runs for him this year. Dart.
Oh man. Is it that many?
Yeah. 25. And by the way, he wasn't the starter until like week 4.
3 of the runs are to the blue tent, but it's like, take a right and then head straight and then walk around it. Yeah, it's sad. But back with this,
does blue tent runs a stat?
No one's taken the full of shit crown away from Denver, but the Bears are for sure the NFC representative, right? The way they have these and these teams they play and everything else.
They're 6-3.
Nuts.
And I can't get enough of the Ben Johnson post-game
I know you
speeches.
love it.
Are my fucking favorite. And he is now in full. This is what we do.
Yeah.
We know what's going to happen when it gets late. Let's say you do. You know what's going to happen.
How do they know?
You do.
How did D'Amico Ryans know?
Read the tea leaves again.
Right.
I really love it.
He also gave Caleb a ball, right?
Yeah,
he gave Gardner Johnson a ball. He gave Caleb Williams a ball, and he said, "This guy has ice in his veins." It's like ice, crush or cubed. That's gotta hurt, isn't it? Ice water. Oh wow! All right.
Yeah, ice water.
Walking around with 12 extra pounds. That's interesting.
This guy's crushed ice in his veins.
This guy's got big, giant rocks.
Can we pencil Chicago into the Shakey's game?
Oh, man. No, we don't have them. We have San Francisco as the 7th team, don't we?
Well, if Chicago takes the San Francisco spot.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you would be San Francisco.
I haven't
Seattle,
looked at their
Rams,
schedule.
Philly, San Francisco, Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago. We gave this out a couple weeks ago. It was like 3-1.
Right.
That's still going to be the 5. Carolina blew it. Carolina had a chance to bulldoze their way in, and they lost to the Saints.
Chicago right there, though, plus 146 to make the playoffs. Man.
Plus 146 to make it?
To make it.
Really?
But San Fran's minus 325 to make it. Yeah, they're not letting you make too much off of these. Sorry.
I hit my first future on FanDuel that I made in like
what was it? Patriots?
June in Indiana. Patriots plus 7.5.
Okay.
It's pretty exciting. I didn't know I was going to hit that on November 9th. That I was going to be wouldn't have guessed that one. We'll take another break for the pod. Keep going on YouTube. Crossoff teams. So we had the Jets, the Browns, Tennessee, Miami, New Orleans, Vegas, Cleveland, the Giants, Arizona, Washington. Is there anybody else you would like to add?
It's be weird to cross off Cincinnati in their bye week, but I've seen so many better teams than them now.
So I was going to raise the Cincinnati question.
Yeah.
They're 3-6. They're 2 back for one of the spots, but their defense is just abhorrent and abhorrent.
I'd say
Why did I say abhorrent?
Yeah,
Abhorrent and
well,
abhorrent.
it is boring. Yeah,
It's a boring.
Stress the bore. Why not?
I think they should be on there. That's the worst defense I've ever seen, and it doesn't even seem like their players like playing for them. So here, this is interesting. I don't think Atlanta's a cross-off team for me yet, because I really do think there's something there, and they might go 5-12, and I'm like, I don't know, this could be the week, but they really have a lot of talent.
They should pick up a game. They play Carolina, who they got crushed by, so there should be some motivation there, and so that would make them what, 4-6.
I'll say this: I've watched obviously every play of every Pats game. I thought Atlanta was if you didn't know anything about the season records, anything, you would have thought Atlanta was the best team they played out of everybody this season.
Oh yeah, yeah, they stayed in with you. Yeah, Drake London. I think he has potential to be one of the top 3 or 4 receivers in the league.
Yeah.
You know? Like I think also, I said it during the week, I think he's going to set a record for catching balls over his head, not using his body at all to catch balls. He has so many of these before going out of bounds. He'll have the record there. But yeah, that offense is, if Penix can get it together, I know we love to hate him, but all he has to kind of do is be average, right?
I don't think he can do it. He's not athletic enough. He's not accurate enough. And then during the times he is accurate, half the time his guys will just drop the pass like Pitts did in the first quarter today. It was interesting being on the East Coast for the early game, by the way.
You don't have to, for the early game. Yeah.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
9:30? Yeah.
Yeah. I got up at 8, had coffee. I was packing. I was in the car on the way to JFK. I was watching the Germany game, having a great time. Super Bowl circle. We always say 8 teams.
Whoa.
Always 8 teams you think can win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think I have 6. 3 in each conference. Indy, KC, New England, Philly, Seattle, and the Rams. 2 spots open. Who are you putting in there?
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't mention Green Bay.
Buffalo. We don't have Buffalo.
I didn't
or
mention
Green
Detroit.
Bay.
I didn't mention Buffalo. I didn't mention Baltimore.
Isn't Buffalo, Green Bay your Super Bowl heading in?
Yeah, but I'm just saying this is the circle. These are like the 8 teams.
I'd put them in.
The way they're playing right now. Who would you put in?
I'd put both of those in. Green Bay and Buffalo.
So I think I would too.
Yeah.
I want to make the case for Baltimore, but I didn't really totally see it today, even though they won.
Yeah.
I didn't think the flow was there. I didn't think Lamar looked great. I thought they just don't seem crisp to me. And they haven't really seemed it all year. I know they've had a lot of injuries, but
maybe Minnesota's a hard team to play. Maybe they're just a weird team to play. But yeah, we automatically assumed also that Baltimore's defense is back when like 3 weeks ago they were giving up 40 points to anybody. Right. So that could be a problem too. But yeah, I would still put Buffalo in over Baltimore.
You'd put Buffalo in over Denver just because of how Knicks looks?
I wouldn't trust them as much in the playoffs as we have. Like I know we'd load up on a parlay for them week 1, the playoffs, divisional round, whatever. I just wouldn't trust him as much, but I like that quarterback so much that I think he can get them in.
He was so bad on Thursday.
I know. Oh, Knicks. Yeah.
Knicks he was doing this thing during the season where he would be bad for 2 hours and then be really good for the 3rd hour. Now he's narrowing it down where he's bad for like 2 hours and 40 minutes, and then he'll give you a good 20. But that Thursday game, now granted, we don't want to overreact to Thursday games. They're always weird. That was the first time I just felt like he was openly missing guys and missing looks. And like he had that one all 22, the behind him camera they had.
Right.
When he had that guy just running in for the touchdown, he just threw a grounder at him.
Yeah.
And it was like he just would have hit that guy 5 weeks ago. So I'm starting to worry he's losing his confidence a little.
I don't get it with him. I really don't. Like I watched him. My son goes to Oregon, so I had to adopt him as a Ducks player. He was good
Yeah.
there. I watched him even at Auburn. He could throw a long ball. He could run for first downs, which he still does. I think the one good thing he does is when he steps up in the pocket, he's like a yard behind the line of scrimmage, and he could fire like an 8-yard pass. I have confidence in that and nothing else. Like I'm not sure what the hell.
I don't
is
mind
so
the
lucky.
design rollout with him when he kind of throws the sidearm to like the tight end for 7 yards.
All right, fine. Two things, but I mean,
I don't ever think his deep pass is going to connect.
No.
Like when he's putting his feet into it, I'm like, here we go. This is 5 yards past the guy.
I mean, he's played in two of not even the worst games this year. That Jets game, and then their standalone games too. That European game, and then Thursday night, they were like just hideous. No
Really
one's
bad.
benefited. I'm trying to think if like you put him on another team, like if he was on New Orleans and Shuck was on Denver, would they have they have 46 sacks? Like that's great. That keeps you in every single time.
Yeah, you think like they played 9 games, so that's 27 hours of QB play.
Yeah.
And he's probably been bad for like 17 of the 27 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like 19.
Or just not effective.
Because I've watched almost all of it because that was like one of my big teams heading in this season. And, and not to compare him to May just to do it, but when May misses dudes now, I'm like surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he sails it over or if he's putting his feet into a long ball, like I just assume he's going to hit the guy in stride. And when he doesn't, you're like, oh, he missed one. Nick's is the opposite. Yeah. It's like surprising when he hits the guy in stride at this point. So they got to figure that out.
I was thinking I want to do, I always say I can't wait to bet against them in the playoffs. FanDuel allows us to not have to wait. Like you could bet Denver to lose in the first round at plus one.
Right, true.
Plus 120. Plus 120. Like,
wow.
So what kind of value would you get if like they're home? They'd have to win a division to be home, right? But other than that, I don't like them on the road. I don't like them at all. Like if they played KC on the road or home, I would take that team.
Well, that's one of the Pats. The Pats have a real chance here to get a top 2 seed now.
I know.
And Denver and Indy are really the two competitors. Because even though the Chargers look good tonight, I would just be surprised if they went like 13-4, whatever.
Who do you think's favored to be the 1 seed?
I would say Indianapolis.
You'd be wrong.
Who is it?
It's the Patriots.
What's the number? Plus
220. It's close. Colts are 240.
Well, they don't really have. I think they have one 10-win team on the schedule left.
Yeah.
Like ironically, now the schedule is going to get easy. What do they have? They have Jets, Bengals, Giants, Bills, at Ravens. That's a hard one. At Jets, Dolphins.
I'm betting.
So they have 2 hard games left.
I'm betting them to get the 1 seed. I have to have an emotional hedge in there. This is just too much. It's too much.
Mike Vrabel's not thinking about it. He takes it one game at a time. So, all right. Guess the lines, week 11. You've been in a tailspin.
This is getting disgusting here. It's 7-3. 7-3.
I don't think I'm going to win this week. I did this on the plane. My head gets screwed up going cross country. I didn't feel good. So ironically, the Pats are playing and they're playing the Jets, which I can't imagine a better time to catch the Jets than after they won in Cleveland, playing 4 days later with a relatively depleted
Good
team.
News for New York fans. They'll get a different local game on next Sunday, right? They won't have to watch
they have to get the AFC team.
Well, will they just replay this one?
So funny. I remember the darkest days of the Pats when we would get just the 1-10 Patriots at Houston. That would be like, and it would be like no competitors. So that'd be the only game.
Right.
Couldn't see anything else unless they showed highlights.
I want to see Terry Bradshaw.
And then you get the NFC game. It'd be like, well, then it would be like the Giants in the late game because they always felt like there was a Boston Giants at one point that people cared. Mm-hmm. And it would be like the Giants just killing somebody where they'd be up like 35-0 in the second quarter.
The St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah.
And it'd be like, cool, that was my day of football. I had 2 games.
That was it.
Thank you. So then like that ESPN game with Paul McGuire and like that was, and Mike Patrick, that was like the first chance to see an actual decent football
even
game.
more than that, it's funny. Someone wrote about that, how TNT and ESPN used to split those games. And
Yeah.
and then it all became ESPN. But think of how important Boomer and Berman and TJ that was, because that
Oh
was
yeah.
all the football you missed during the day. That was great.
And we had no internet either. So
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know what was going on except for the ticker.
Yeah.
And especially like you started gambling a little before me, but early 90s I'm gambling and you're just kind of waiting for the ticker.
Yeah, right.
And then it would be like Tampa 17, Carolina 16. I'm like, whoa, what happened? And then you just wouldn't know.
It was
All of a sudden the score would change.
CNN would have the 28-58, right? Like they'd have scores at the top, and God forbid
Van Earl Wright.
If you bet the unranked team, you would never see your score. You would have to see it in the paper like 3 days later.
Or then we had the 900 numbers we could call. That was the other sad thing.
Yeah. Get all your sports news instantly. Dial 976-1313.
Yeah.
I cried. Yeah.
Like $1.
I jacked up a lot on that. Yeah.
Thursday night, Pats home for the Jets. And I think this has to be close to 2 touchdowns. And I'm going to say Pats by 13.
That's what I said too. And it's 10.5. What gives?
Okay.
Come on.
Thursday line, you think? Just like thinking the Pats are just going to try to get through the game.
That's not fair. That's asking too much of the Jets. It really is putting a lot of pressure on Justin Fields to have more than like 45 yards passing in the fourth quarter.
That has to be the first time the Pats have been favored in a night game like that. Probably since Brady's second to last year.
All right.
Because the Brady's last year, they were fine. They were like 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a while. All right. We have a Madrid game.
Yeah.
We went from Berlin this week to it was interesting. The announcer told the story about the stadium they were playing in. Did you hear? Or you were doing the show?
No, what happened?
No. They were playing in the stadium where they had the 1936 Olympics. So he told the whole Jesse Owens story, which is an awesome story, obviously. And it's like an Adolf Hitler, and and he just goes through the whole thing. And Kurt Warner didn't have a lot of places to go, so he was just like, "Yeah, it was just an amazing event. Like it was like that, nothing you could really add to like a Jesse Owens Hitler story,
right?"
But yeah, that arena they played in today, that stadium, it's like 100-year-old stadium. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think
Germany has the least exciting anthem you'd want to hear before a game.
Right. Say it to their face. When Bad Bunny does it in February, you'll love it.
What's your favorite anthem of all the countries?
This is gonna get me in trouble. Other than ours, right?
Other than ours,
Canadian.
Is it
Canadian?
Oh, I thought you would go Russia.
Oh, the Volkov, yeah. And the Iron Sheik standing at attention, and then just a spit to the original Hawk Tour. Yeah.
Canada's really good.
Oh yeah, it's a great song.
Madrid game, Dolphins home for the Washington C-words. I got Miami by 2.5.
Why isn't it more than that? And why is it less than what you guessed? It's 1.5. Come on. I said 3.5. Well, this Washington team's all right. Maybe we're just counting. Are we doing what we did with Pittsburgh now with Miami? Like they're back, they're fully back, everything's back. I guess maybe we should back off.
Do you think Vegas is just they're putting in like the zigzag of the Dolphins where they're this and now this week they're going to be this and they're just assuming they're going to do this?
Okay, but how much has Washington zigged and zagged over the last 3 weeks? All they do is give up 35
Daniels
points.
Could play in this game, right?
Is that what they're saying?
I don't know. He might.
Just sit him for the year.
Sunday marquee. I have 4 watchable games plus this one. Next week's a good week.
Yeah.
Next week is the last normal football week.
Is that right? You looked ahead?
Yeah, because
what do you mean?
Well, because then we have a lot of buys in week 12, then Thanksgiving.
Right.
It gets wonky basically from that point on.
Yeah. After Thanksgiving it's tough viewing. I don't know. You're gonna have to take 2 seats on a plane because you're gonna get like 1 p.m. Eastern once those buys are shot.
I think this is the marquee game. Well, you tell me, is it Seahawks, Rams, or Chiefs,
Carolina,
Broncos?
Atlanta. Yeah. Seahawks, Rams.
Okay.
The one I want to say.
I had Chiefs, Broncos, but
Okay.
I think it's Seahawks, Rams. Or we could just say there's two marquee
We could
games.
watch
Chiefs,
both.
Broncos is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
So Seahawks, Rams, it's in LA.
Yep.
And I think the Seahawks are going to be 1.5-point underdogs.
Oh, I was hoping you said favorite. That's exactly what I had. It is 2.5.
2.5. Think our friend Tall John's going to be there?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he loves that Seattle team.
This is a great game.
They were, I guess. I mean, they covered that easily today, but it was a little suspicious that they were giving that many points. But Vegas, like we can't say Vegas, FanDuel respects the hell out of them. 2.5 at home.
Chiefs at Broncos. And the Chiefs are going to be favored. This is so we say every week somebody emerges as a new MVP candidate, and this week it was Stafford, even though these guys were already candidates.
Right.
This has the makings of a Mahomes throwing himself back in the ring for the MVP race. Anyway, I have Chiefs -3 in Denver.
Come on. Can I get a half a point on you? It's 3.5. That's what I had. I had 3. We split it.
That ends up at 3. I don't think that ends up at 3.
That's fair. That's fair.
That should be a 3-point line.
Let's just bet the first half under. Let's bet the Broncos first quarter under. Let's just get it out of the way. We know what this game's going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is the new Cousins House special team this year, the Broncos.
Yeah, you're right.
You just bet Chiefs first half, Broncos game.
It's a good call.
They probably hit that 4 times. Watchables, 3 of them. Buffalo is home for Tampa Bay. And I guess these lines before when I was on the plane before the Bills game, and I had Bills by 5, and now I'm dropping that to Bills by 4.
Ooh, all right.
Bills -4.
I get you. I said 4.5. It's 5.5.
Oh, that's too high.
They're really putting in some must-win points in there.
Well, when are we going to get a cold weather week? Is it this week?
I mean, they say technically that Bears game was the first snow game. But yeah, it'd be nice to see something. Tomorrow
Buffalo
is supposed to
next Sunday.
Green Bay's supposed to be at Lambeau. It's supposed to be in the 20s by halftime.
It says 45 degrees on Sunday in Buffalo.
Yeah, not good enough.
That's not cold enough. Next one. I think this is a watchable. I'm surprised that I'm saying that, but it's kind of a loser leaves town match for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Vikings home for the Bears. I have the Vikings by 2.5.
Yeah, you get this exactly. I said 1.5. I don't know why. That was dumb.
Let's see it this week with this goofy Bears team that has all these dumb wins against bad teams. Let's go into Minnesota, move the ball for 4 quarters, and let's see you do it against the Flores defense.
Ben Johnson's got some game balls to give out, so.
Well, they lost to them. What was that, week 1?
27-24? Is that what it was? Yeah. Good game.
Cards are home for the 49ers. And I guess this could probably go in fairly watchables, but I always feel like these games are entertaining when the Cardinals play the 49ers, so I put it in there. I have the Cardinals favored by 1.5.
Oh, I'm going to get this, right? Oh, no, we split it. I said 4.5. Oh, Cardinals favored. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're wrong. I said San Francisco by 4.5. It's San Francisco by 3.
Oh, my God. I was way off.
Well, they have 6 wins. They're going to be they're our playoff team.
Yeah, but didn't anybody watch the game today?
I know. You know what's weird?
Their defense didn't come close to stopping anything.
If Purdy comes in, doesn't matter, right? We know it doesn't, Murray, forget him. It's just this is just what they have. This is what the line's going to be Sunday night before.
I liked Keon White when he was on the Patriots. I always thought he had a lot of potential. He was this defensive end we had.
Yeah.
He showed flashes. And then this year, the team was good. And he just didn't play. Vrabel didn't play him. And then eventually they just traded him to the Niners for like a 7th-round pick. And when they did it, it was like, oh, that's cool. I like that guy. I hope he gets some run on the Niners.
And there you
He
go.
was like playing a lot today.
Right.
And I just thought it was interesting. This guy that literally couldn't play for the Patriots and
Yeah.
is just out there for the Niners. It's like, that's not a good sign for your
Well, if
defense.
you want to play a lot, that's the team you go to, the 49ers. A
Right.
spot will open up for you eventually. You'll get
Yeah,
there.
they're listing dudes where you're like, oh, Bryce Huff.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Fairly watchables. Packers Giants. So this feels like a Russell Wilson start.
I mean, they're
I don't know
making
if how Dart gets cleared in 6 days.
They make them sit one, right?
So I went high. I went Packers 9.5.
Oh, I said 6.5. It is 7.5. They're baiting us, right? Watch, Green Bay's going to win like 30-10 tomorrow, and then we're going to all have them on a teaser next week, and Russ is going to have the last good game of his career.
I'm trying to think of how high this would get to before I took Russell Wilson in a bet.
36.
Like 14.5.
It's so rough. He can't run. He can't
Just
throw.
completely shot. Steelers Bengals in Pittsburgh. And I still think this has to be a touchdown, even though the Steelers looked like shit today. So I'm going to say Steelers by 7.
Yeah, you edge me out here. I said 7.5, and it's 5.5. What are they doing?
Vegas zone.
What are they doing? The Steelers lost that Thursday night game. They can't.
Maybe they're thinking this is like a last team with the ball kind of game.
Oh my God, they were so embarrassed in Cincy a few Thursdays ago. I think you have to add 2 points to some. We have another one coming up with Atlanta, Carolina. Carolina got shut them out. Like, I don't know. I think these need to move.
Chargers at Jacksonville. I have the Chargers favored. Chargers minus 1.5 in Jacksonville.
I got it exactly. 2.5, unless they change it. Nope, 2.5.
You're beating me this week.
Hold on, 3, 4, 5, 7-6.
3 poop-affected games. Unless you think Ravens Browns should be a fairly watchable. I'm guessing no on that one.
Especially in that window with Seattle. That's the late afternoon. We don't have to watch it.
Ravens at Cleveland. It has to have at least a hook. So I'm going to say Ravens by 7.5.
I mean, I went crazy here. I said 11.5, and it's 8.5. Why? They beat them 41-17. Who was the quarterback when they beat them 41-17? Wasn't Flacco, was it?
I think it was.
Oh, this guy's so much worse than Flacco. What are they going to do?
Falcons home for the Panthers. If this is in the Vegas zone, then I don't know anything. I have Falcons 4.5.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had. 3.5.
Oh,
3.5. Like, there's got to be blood.
I'm going to end up betting on the Falcons again.
I know. I am too. They lost 30-0 to the Panthers. You don't think they have this game circled?
So I didn't have the Panthers game on today. I had no interest. I only had 4 spots. I wasn't cracking it. Those are 2 non-playoff teams. Apparently, Bryce was really bad.
Yeah.
Like, even for him, like really, really bad. And it just feels like we are not making the progress we thought we were going to make with that dude. Right?
It's I watched it. I had it on a small screen because New Orleans was my underdog pick. And when Chuck goes wire to wire on you at home, you're just a cross-off. It just doesn't matter how many. I mean, their thing is they can't be favored in games. This is 11 in a row where they're favored and they lost. It's like a child wetting his bed at home, but he's okay during sleepover. It's like, dude, you're home. It should be easier. You're favored.
So maybe that's maybe they're in the spot they need to be in.
They're getting points. Yeah, maybe.
Texans at Tennessee is the last one, and I put this in the Vegas zone too. Texans by 4.5 is my pick.
Oh, all right. I'm closer. I said 6. It's 7.5.
That's dumb.
They beat them 26-0 the first time, week 4.
Titans coming off a bye week. Sunday night is a really good game. Eagles home for the Lions.
Good one.
I have Eagles minus 3.5.
We split this. No, I get it. I had 2. It's 1.5.
Wow, you beat me.
Look at that. Come on, I'm back. We did it, Jacobs.
So Eagles 1.5 over the Lions. They're saying these two teams are even because now you get 1.5 for home. So they're saying these are dead even
I
teams.
guess so. They haven't been
I don't
power
agree with that.
ranking Philly high. I mean, think about it. Green Bay is up to what now? Tomorrow. Oh, they're still 1.5. Yeah, maybe it should be a
I,
tick higher.
it's a small thing, but it's also not. I don't like when teams have stuff where they're like coordinators are getting fired or guys are losing their
Hmm.
job or this guy's going to call the plays now. I think when that's happening in November, that's a horrible sign
Which team are you talking about?
for the Lions.
Oh, the Lions.
I didn't
With
think
Morton.
this
Yeah.
was, I know they played well today, but I don't think this reflected well on them at all. It just
No,
tells me they hired the wrong guy. This is your offensive coordinator. It's the biggest job on your team other than your head coach. And
I know.
you blew the job, obviously. So now Dan Campbell is going to call plays for them the rest of the year. Like, I don't think that's a good sign at all.
You ever think like Goff? He does look good. I know we're playing each other in fantasy. You were watching him closely. We're neck and neck this week, and I had Goff.
Yeah.
But if they could have a better fit, like what do you think Stafford would do with this Lions team?
Oh my God.
It's just so much talent. And if you can't, like Jamison Williams, like, oh yeah, that guy. Why is he getting like 2 targets a game? Look at him. He's in the end zone. They just
It's
released
an
the ball.
embarrassment of riches. It feels
Yeah.
like they could go to Laporta over the middle for 15 yards anytime they
Right.
want, and they never do it.
Right.
Monday night. Oh, your sad team's playing. You're
Just
in Vegas.
call the season.
You going to this?
No.
It's your team. It's
That'll
an
be
hour
good.
flight.
Yeah, let me lose like $6,000 playing blackjack and then go watch the Cowboys at night.
Raiders, I have favored at home by 1.5.
You have the Raiders favored.
Yeah. Your team's terrible.
I know, but they are.
Why would they
favored.
be favored?
They're favored by 2.5. Oh, they're favored by
Oh.
3.
Oh
I
my
s-
God.
I said 2.5.
That's ludicrous. Your team stinks.
You're not taking Vegas here. Cut it out. You're not taking them.
I'm taking whoever is getting points. It's 2 terrible teams.
11-8. You didn't see those trades Jerry made early in the week? You must not have seen those.
Oh man. I know you already talked about that on the Ringer Gambling Show, but it just has to be mortifying when it's the same sensation we have with our parents, but the guy's actually in charge of one of your teams,
Yeah.
where you're just like, what do we do?
Well,
It's they get the better first. Why did we do that? And it's just a trade that is just official and approved by the league.
Yep. And it's all now because he realized the Micah thing is a disaster and he's got to make that look good before even the offseason. In a season that we don't have a shot, like we're going to go 2-4 the next 6. Like had we won
Yeah.
against Arizona, it still would have been probably a bad trade. But I
Yeah.
think he's got no short-term memory. I think he forgot about the Arizona game, even though the trade was in the works. And he's like, oh, I have some really good news for you people. Great.
I think he might have forgotten that there were only 7 playoff seeds.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah.
I think he just thought it was like the March Madness.
I thought we voted on a 22-week season.
Yeah, I thought it just kept going until we played a playoff game.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for guest lines. Really good week next week though. Jesus.
That's good. And there's so many good games. I was like, oh, the others are going to suck. But no, somehow it matches up nicely for like 7 games.
Today's Parent Corner presented by Uber Eats. Let's be real. It wouldn't be game day without a spread of your favorite foods, pizza, burgers, burritos, you name it. Uber Eats is here to deliver it to you all season long. Ironically, I got Uber Eats 2 hours ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I got it this morning.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Grapes, Coke Zero, watermelon, and Fritos. Well, I shouldn't have gotten that. Yeah.
Fritos.
Yeah.
What kind of Fritos?
Oh, I got the barbecue ones. Have you had?
I've had. Those
Yeah.
are pretty good.
Yeah, I'm in bad shape.
There's a couple of people in my life that's their number one.
Really?
The barbecue Fritos, yeah.
You can't say their name?
No.
Blasphemous? Okay.
Well, one of them's my wife's friend, so I think doesn't tell her husband she eats them.
Oh, I see.
Um,
It's a Ginny Sack situation.
What do you got for Parent Corner?
All right. Well, okay. So let's start with the other parents, like our parents, my father in particular, who
Yeah.
he has trouble getting around. Yeah, he's in his mid 80s now, but he loves going to the kids' game still. So we take him to Harrison's flag football playoff game. By the way, go Bolt up. They're in the finals next week. So we take him and we're driving And we get there. Now we're driving home, and these are Friday night at 8. So it's like 10 o'clock while we're driving home. So everyone's quiet in the car. And so I was like, you know what? I'll put the 70s station on for him, even though that's like 2 to 3 decades too contemporary for him. But
Yeah.
and Paul Simon's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover is on, right?
Uh-oh.
And my father starts humming and then starts singing the song, except he kept saying 50 Ways to Please Your Lover. And he's not doing it ironically. He's not trying to be funny, but he's loud about it. He's like, 50 ways to please your lover. And my wife is like gagging in the back seat. I could see her. And he thinks that's the words because I know he's screwing up the other words. Like, pick out the back. He's got everything wrong, but 50 ways to please your lover. Sorry, Paul Simon. So that's my old dad going at it.
50 ways to please your lover.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Not leave your lover. Some with a tongue. I don't know. Anyway, next. Okay, so my son Jack is a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
For no reason. The same as me being a Cowboys fan. A couple weeks ago, I sent him a picture of a bar right around where we live, and they hung a Steelers flag. And he ended up looking up the bar, and he does the research. And not only is it a Steelers bar, but they have a fan club. And he ends up emailing the president of the fan club, and now they're emailing each other. And now he wants to go to the game. I forgot that the Steelers were at SoFi tonight. And he's like, can you take me to the game? And I was like, I can't go, Jack. Like, I don't even see the Cowboys. I have to work. We do the live show right after the game. It's just not going to happen. So maybe you can find a friend to go with. And now my wife is like, no, we're not letting him go alone with a friend, just a friend. You know, they're still in high school, and he's going to go, you know, and now he's going to go with he can't go with these new adult friends. So I was like, well, you know what this means? This means you have to go. So my wife took Jack to the Steelers game tonight at SoFi. The game is at 5:20. I was like, all right, just take an Uber there at like 4 or something because traffic's going to be bad. No. Jack wants to go with this club because they rented a Sprinter van and they're going at 11 a.m. and they're tailgating at SoFi. So my poor wife, who now hates me more than she's ever hated me in my life, has to go to this game at 11 a.m. and tailgate. And tailgate. I'll send you the videos later. And they are not back yet. So this is going to be good. I was checking in. She was very, very short with her responses, but what am I going to do?
Did they leave at 11 o'clock or they got there at 11 o'clock?
The bus left at 11 a.m. And it's a Sprinter van with like a stripper pole and everything. I got to send you this. It's really nuts. Really, really nuts. And did they score a touchdown? We went on right before the end. They didn't even score a touchdown, did they?
Oh my God. I can't think of anything your wife would hate more than that.
I might have to leave the back door open. I may have to stay with you tonight. Oh, they did score a touchdown. All right. At least they scored a touchdown.
I went back to Boston because my daughter's team was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they were the higher seed. So I went back for the Tuesday game, thinking I'd at least get to see 2 games and maybe they'd make the finals. And of course they got upset in the first game and lost. But it was still a good season. I was psyched for my daughter because she stayed healthy the whole year. She played a ton of minutes and had a really
good job.
So that was good.
She doesn't have a Brian Dayball who's not looking out for her, right?
No.
Good.
She made it. She's healthy. Really good season. So on Friday we went to Stafford because it was my Uncle Ricky's 80th birthday party.
Nice.
My Uncle Ricky, who had one of the great quotes of all time at his 50th birthday 30 years ago, when he told us, hey, when you turn 50, just remember these 2 things. Never pass a bathroom without going in, and never leave a heart on unattended. That's his advice to me. That's 30 years ago.
Imagine you telling your kids or nephews that.
He passed those words of wisdom along.
Did you pay attention? Did you follow his advice?
So it's been ringing in my head. Just a legendary member of the family. Just awesome. Too many stories. So we had a whole weekend and a couple dinners. But we took the Amtrak, my daughter and I, and we watched this Peacock show called All Her Fault with Shiv Roy, where she is this mom who has a play day with her kid, and the kid gets kidnapped, and it's like your classic. It's like it should have been like a Nicole Kidman show. I don't know how she turned it down. Maybe she's too old to have a 5-year-old kid, but we're on the Amtrak in the quiet car, and I'm watching on my iPad and she's watching on her iPad, and we sync the iPads so that it's happening at the same time, but we're not looking at two iPads. But then a couple of times the Wi-Fi would stop, and my daughter would get really mad if my iPad was ahead of their iPad, so she would make me stop so the iPads would sync. And this is how we spent 3.5 hours together going to Stanford. And I was thinking of her boyfriend now is Hank, who's a great guy. And I was just thinking, like, good luck, Hank. Syncing those iPads.
Sync them up.
I was like, I can't even imagine what the days are like. She's furious, like, you're 2 seconds ahead of me. I'm like, it's the same scene. What are you doing? But anyway, we had a good time on the train. It was awesome being on. That was where I basically grew up on that Amtrak, going back and forth as a child of
It's
divorce.
nice now, right?
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Great times all around. But anyway, it was some good dad-daughter time. But she said she might not come back for Thanksgiving, and I was heartbroken.
Oh no, she's going to Hank's.
Well, Hank's on the basketball team, and he's got to stay. And I think she feels bad, and so I don't know. We've had every Thanksgiving with her, and it's really the beginning of the end in all these different ways for us as parents. So
yeah, I was
little
thinking
checkpoints,
about this.
right? Where it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be back for Thanksgiving. It's like, oh, what do you mean? We've spent every Thanksgiving together since you were a baby. You're just not going to come back. So I don't know if she's coming back.
It doesn't seem right. I'm trying to think. When did you blow off your parents' Thanksgiving?
I was trying to think of how many times I blew my parents off for everything, and it was a lot.
Okay.
So I think, and she made that point to me. Like when I was complaining about the iPad, she's like, "You're lucky I'm here. I'm a college student. I'm giving up a Friday night to take the train to Stanford to go to my uncle's thing. Like, you should be more appreciative."
And you're not even
solid
syncing
point.
up the Shiv Roy rom-com or whatever the F we're
Roy
watching. Yeah.
No, it was a Shiv Roy kidnapping.
Oh, the kidnapping. Yeah. I think that's a good show. I think that's a good Netflix show. You and Zoe riding an Amtrak, watching these and critiquing these
And then she
shows.
goes to the bathroom and disappears, and then it becomes like a whole,
right.
Or I disappear. One of us disappears.
Yeah. Well, you've never passed the bathroom that you've. Well, how's
now
it go?
I can't at age 50. Never pass a bathroom without going in.
Right. All right.
I realized that Shiv Roy just is Shiv Roy from now on.
Oh, she is.
You can't unsee her, because I know Tom from Succession is in this new thing that's on Netflix, like some presidential assassination show. I wouldn't be able to unsee Tom from him either. I just think, remember with The Sopranos, those people, some of the actors just never shook the characters.
Right. You couldn't
like
do
Moltisanti, I just couldn't see Imperioli as anybody else. He was just Christopher.
Yeah, big
Adriana
pussy.
was just always Adriana.
Yeah. But I feel that way with all those Succession characters too, except I would have thought Cameron, is it Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Right. He's kind of Alan Ruck.
I was okay with that.
He kind of transcended. Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah. All right.
But Jeremy's strong, and that's a tough one too.
Yeah. All the main characters for really good shows is tough. I'm telling you, that's a good show. You and Zoe on the Amtrak. Amtrak and
I'll work on it. I'll pump a script into AI tonight. I'll just have AI spit out a script.
Love it.
Today's Parent Corner presented by Uber Eats, who also sponsored the what was the van that your wife took?
It was a Sprinter van. Yeah.
Sprinter van, the Steelers Sprinter van. Get almost anything for game day, like your favorite game day foods, drinks, and snacks on Uber Eats, the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. How's it going on Ringer Gambling Show with DeBundo? Have you in-house illegally adopted him?
Love it.
On
He's
Wednesdays?
good. He's very serious about his bets. He also comes on the pregame show, and I think he's like 7-1 with his best bets. And we're House and I have fun with him. And Tuesdays with Tate is great, and Friday with DeBundo and Heifetz. And Sunday pregame. Like I said, lots of winners, lots of big odds winners, SGPs, and tune in. You may see it elsewhere. Not going anywhere, but you may see it other places.
We might add a couple spots to watch.
Yeah.
I was thinking, tell me if you think this is a good idea. I know FanDuel doesn't like negative props.
Right.
But I was thinking interception parlays would be such a fun corner.
Oh, yeah.
There were a couple guys today that were just clearly throwing an interception.
Mm-hmm.
Like JJ McCarthy, there was no question he was throwing a pick to somebody. Mac Jones, you got to pencil him in every time. Lawrence, did he actually throw an interception or was that a fumble? But I think he did it before.
Did he get one?
He threw one.
Yeah.
But there's some, but I think
I like
interception
those.
parlays,
Yeah.
I want to make that my corner the rest of the way, especially with some of these bad QBs.
Why wouldn't they do that? You could bet under in passing yards
They
and
don't put
stuff
the
like that.
interceptions in the same game parlays.
But you could bet under passing. You could bet negative
Yeah.
stuff. I don't, come on, FanDuel. Yeah,
Pick
that's the fun stuff.
parlays.
Yeah, just jack up, Cam Ward's to -500. Do whatever you have to do. We just want to put the parlays together.
Yeah, I want 2 of them, maybe even 3 altogether. All right, cuz. As always, good job by you.
Good job by you, buddy.
Thanks to everybody who watched on YouTube. You can watch this podcast Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday on Spotify and on YouTube as well. Thanks to Gahal. Thanks to Eduardo as well. And I will see you on this feed on Tuesday.